several screens up here. One, we have our cell phone. This is my cell phone. My cell phone has an OLED screen. It's a Samsung with an OLED screen on it right there. We have our, go back to my freaking mode. I had it in. There we go. We have our screen right here under FLE Alpha CINEMAX Technology 77. Over here we have a monitor. This is what I use from time to time for work. This is my monitor right now. It also too can pull an infinity contrast level because these surfaces can read black. That's why. They have the ability to read and understand and see black. And I've been preaching this for the longest time on why gray screens don't have this capability. Gray screens, well, we have one particular person come in and they'll say, hey, we do the same thing. We can pick up at 50, we can pick up at 100, we can pick up at 200, which I haven't seen yet, period. We can pick up on all these different sizes. Can a gray screen do that? Yeah, it can pick up on all those different sizes. It can. But the problem you're going to have is what kind of quality are you going to get from the product? What are you going to be able to see? What can your projector see? How blind will your projector come? How much of your projector investment did you get when you actually upgraded your screen with the gray screen? A gray screen is the worst thing you want to upgrade your screen with because, again, without the infinity contrast level, you can't pick up a 100% black level, which is extremely important and it's needed because without it, you can't see color at all, period. Your color levels are going to come out washed out, faded, and bland. You will never get the full potential of what, of what your projector is designed to do. Now, So right here we have a silver black screens. So let me introduce myself. My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC, Gunmetal Crystal Edge Technology Screens, and FLE-VT coming soon. And I specialize in black technology. Also specialize in ambient light projection technology. If you don't believe me, check out my YouTube channel or check out any demonstrations that we have in the day. That's what we do. That's what we specialize in. I was developing black technology 8 years ago for anybody else was doing, so I'm quite aware of what black technology is designed to do, why it's very important, and it's a huge, major upgrade for your projector setup. So, did you upgrade with a gray screen? I talk to customers who upgrade with gray screens, and they're very unhappy. You know why? They can't read black levels. They have to spend the money for an expensive projector with a lot of contrast with it in order to get that to work somewhat. Not saying it's going to work, somewhat. Now, if the person who's selling you screen paint has to use a tremendously high contrast level, there's your first red flag right there. So what that means is they spent that much money for the projector, you're going to spend that much money for the projector because it's not going to work. So we have several screens here. We have a monitor here. I've got my cell phone over here. I have the FLE technology over there that sees infinity contrast levels and a 50 lumen with 1,000 to 1 contrast pointed at the table. The projector only has a 3,000 to 1. We don't need it because it's not necessary. Screens are black. We don't require contrast on projectors. Now, if you're sitting there saying, well, my screen paint being gray is TV worthy, lie. That's a definite straight lie. That monitor right there, my cell phone right there, can read that contrast level. It doesn't come up gray. It doesn't wash out when we turn the lights on. It has none of those problems whatsoever. So you can't be TV worthy if you can't survive in the same environment as a TV and react like a TV. One of the things I see, and I told you I saw this with certifieds too. I've seen TV comparisons. We're going to look that up one day. We're going to do a YouTube field trip. We've got projection screen TV comparisons, and you'll see where they'll stick the TV in the exact same ambient light controlled environment as the projection screens. Why do you have a TV in there in that environment? It doesn't belong in that environment because that TV doesn't require ambient light controlled environment. So you just stick it in an environment, turn your lights on, and boom, it works. Have it next to a window, it works. Doesn't make a difference. If you lay it flat to the ground, it'll still pick up. Put it up on the ceiling, it'll still pick up. So if you can't do that with your screen, that means your screen's not TV worthy. All right, so we got a gray surface here. Real quick, that surface has a challenge attached to it. Let me get it. I do this, I have this every single time because I get people will contact me upset, angry, mad. That's not my screen paint. My screen paint won't react that way. My screen paint's different. All right. Well, in order for you to back that up, and for me to back that up for you, you're going to have to do this little challenge. This is a bad challenge you don't want to fail against. Now, this challenge right here is the Apple Barrel Pewter Gray. This has some good silver in it, just to let you know. It's a silver mixture. This is a $4.97 product. If you fail and you match this screen, your company goes under. Unless you find some way to design some kind of great paint that can beat this. That's the problem you're going to have. And now, for those of you who try to cheat and try to make your paint darker so that way you can beat it, no. Don't work at all, period. Keep in mind, it's a whole higher white level if you do that. So either way, you're going to be in some trouble. So, if you feel that your gray paint is not what we're using here and what we're representing as gray screen paint products, this is not you at the end of the day, then we invite you to do the challenge right there. That's why I have it here. So that way I don't come out looking like a liar, like I'm saying that all gray paints do this. We give you an opportunity to back it. If you're able to beat this, hey, I check it out and I see, wow, this guy actually beat this. I'll come out here and say, hey, buy his product. His product is good. It does what it does. It's so and so and so. But to say that it competes with a black screen, never say that, because it's not true and you can't do it at all, period. No matter how hard you try, a gray screen will never compete with darker technology. It's not going to happen. But I thought I'd put that in there real quick, because again, like I said, I get people that'll contact me upset and angry and say it's not my product. Well, you do the demonstration. But remember the consequences. If you match this stuff, I don't care if it's a hiccup, whatever it is, you come close to matching this, your product is going to drop lower than $4.97. So that's going to be bad. That's why I advise you. We put challenges on those. All right. And for those saying, what did you do? We did it already. We did it ourselves. So as you can see, cell phone picks up a star field. So if I want to watch a star field demonstration or something like that, something involving outer space or some black levels, and you have a gray screen, your cell phone's going to pick up better than your screen, because your cell phone can read all that and your screen can't. Where our screen's being black, I can watch a movie off my cell phone and watch it off the screen at the same time, and it never misses a beat. So let's show you. We're going to take the gray surface, and as I said before, if you feel at the end of the day that this is not you, we have a challenge attached. You can pick it up at Amazon. But keep in mind the damage it's going to cause if you do match it. We're going to take the gray screen, we're going to stick it right against our technology. Now, we do this because we get people who come out and say, well, I can do the same thing he's doing. Why pay more money for his product? Because his product doesn't, we do the same thing. We can pick up at 40 inches. We can pick up at 50 inches. Oh, yeah, you can. You can pick up at 40. You can pick up at 50. The problem is that you don't have the quality, and your product and the picture quality suffers. The projector comes out looking poor performance, and the customer is unhappy. So if I were to paint this whole screen with that gray paint behind me, I would get this. This is what I would get, which means I don't read an infinity contrast level. No one's saying you can't produce at 50 inch. No one's saying you can't produce at 100 inches. No one's saying you can't produce at 120 inches. You can. It's just your picture quality is going to be poor, very, very poor. Are gray projection screens TV worthy, or are they monitor worthy, whatever you want to call it? No. This right here is my cell phone. I'm going to lay it right there against the gray screen. And as you can see, my cell phone can read. It's bouncing off these little light. That's bouncing off the projector. The cell phone can read a contrast level. Our screen can read a contrast level. The gray screen can't read it at all. All right. Let's put this over here. Why am I shutting off? My button system on here, I swear. There we go. So as you can see, oh, stop doing that. This phone, I swear, drives me crazy. I'll put it in the mode it's supposed to be in, and it changes automatically just like that. Stay up there. Stay up there. Be nice. Don't be temperamental. My phone acting up. All right. So as you can see right there, Starfield picks up here. Starfield doesn't pick up there. Starfield picks up on our technology. Starfield picks up on the table. Starfield picks up on the monitor. This is why I tell you that, if they lie to you and tell you that you're picking up a contrast level, you're not. There is the Starfield on my 50 lumen projector right there. Doesn't read on the gray screen. Let's see if the gray screen is TV worthy, and keep in mind white screens are even worse. But if you call yourself upgrading your gray screen from a white screen to a gray screen, and you feel that you're going to be able to read the contrast levels because it's gray, no, you can't. So this is a message to you gray screen makers out there. I know you want to mimic my demonstrations. I know we sit there and say, well, we could do the same thing for less. We could basically have a gray screen that does the same. No, it doesn't. It will never do the same thing. Not ever. You can't read contrast. You can't pick it up. You can make it 50-inch. I don't care what projector you buy at the end of the day. You can't read it. You can't pick it up whatsoever. Contrast is a complete waste on your screen. It is. I'm being upfront with you. It doesn't work at all, period. You can't read an Infinity 1 contrast level. Not going to work. If you got to be in the dark environment in order to try to show a contrast level, you have failed already. It's not going to work. Period. This is a 5,000 projector and it won't read. To our customers, putting a gray screen paint on your screen, you're upgrading it just a little, but in the end, you are still getting a downgrade screen. Can't read it, won't come up. One better way to display this is in a Starfield screensaver demonstration. Now, as we showed you in our demonstrations, hide certified screens for our gray screens or white screens when we do our demonstrations, even at 50 lumens. Can't turn our screen dark, can't turn it unwatchable because our screens produce an amazing high white level. But not only that, our screens pull insane and amazing color. Let me show you something right here. I'm going to go with that colorful demonstration light because there's all the colors attached to it. Let's go with the, should have it here somewhere. Just came off of it. There we go.
So I can take all these trips because Priceline has all these amazing deals. And that's when I said, deal! You're right.
Way too much time in that.
I don't know if you've ever used the See a Floor in Your Room feature on EmpireToday.com, but if you haven't, got to check it out.
How would a gray screen have the ability to make our screen unwatchable? Impossible. Virtually impossible. And FLEs are way powerful than the Black Series Edition dedicated CINEMAX. Virtually impossible. Now you see right here, I'm gonna show you something real quick. Where's that remote control? Pause it right there. This is a perfect spot to pause it at. Perfect. Do you see where our technology, how it's pulling the colors, but you see the contrast level fail on the gray screen? It can't read that contrast level for anything. It can't pick it up. Can't see it. See right there? Can't read it at all. Washes the whole screen out. Copyright-free visual abstract art. That's a fast way of bringing it up.
It's happening now. It's all absolutely free with no fees.
Now, if I had painted my desk or this sheet of plywood all gray, this is what I would have got. Washed out. Doesn't read, won't pick up. Well, I don't know how this is going to work next to a monitor, because again, we need the monitor there to do it. But as I said before, it's just not going to pick up at all, period. We have to do it on the projection. Well, pretty much, yeah, we just have to get it to match the projection screen. If we have it here, right, we need to match the projection screen. As you can see, it's right there, monitor right here. It's not matching because it's washed out. It's not going to match the monitor. There's no way in the world. It's gray. Monitor can read a 100% contrast level. And in order for you to read contrast, you got to read color. The lighter your screen, the worse your color is going to get. Can't read that. I'm getting like complaints, crying and whining all day long on my account. Oh, gray screens work, gray screens work. No, they do not work. Stop it. Enough with it. Give it up. It's over. Game over. You're done. You're finished. Obsolete. Don't exist anymore. You've been terminated. Your contract's been canceled. You are done. You do not function anymore. That's the end of it. You can't get on there and lie, because you know what's going to happen? People are going to start taking you to court for fraud. This is considered fraud. If you're making statements about a product that's not real and doesn't exist, and you're tricking the consumer and the consumer is paying for this, you could be sued for fraud. So you can't do this. This is what happened when Valve got out there and lied and complained and said that their screen, at the end of the day, pulled a whopping 6,000 lumens, and that's a lie. Can't do that. They got sued for that. So you can't go around doing it at the end of the day. And it's not just one person. I get a few people who come in and complain to me about the screen paint, the gray screen paints having the ability to be able to pull contrast. I'm like, no, it doesn't see it. Where are you getting this from? Where are you getting this from? Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Basic red screen. Now you see the gray screen? Can't read it. All right. You know, I say this to the gray screen paint makers because, again, you can't read it. You have an obsolete product now. Let's go over here to my cell phone.
Man, I wish I had 750 donuts like this sign says. It says $750.
All right. This is red on my phone. That's red right there. I'll put the red right here. Make sure this monitor matches my phone. Right there. There's red. Now, the same red on the monitor. Let's go over here to our screen. And let's pull up. Let me see. I'll go right there and just speak it. Red screen. Basic red. That's it. All right. All those are pulling red. Now, let's go over to my computer. Over here. And let's come out of this. And let's put in red screen also.
We're standing up for our
Make that commercial. Get this one instead. All right, so that's the red screen, all the way across. Red to the table, all the way across red. Our technology pulls up a much more deeper red than the monitors do. So, you come over here, and I'll take the red screen right here, it's a gray screen, and I'll stick it right there in the middle. Now, if you look at the gray screen, it's not matching anything close to ours. It's not matching our screen. It's not matching the monitor. It's not matching the screen we have to the table. And it's not matching the cell phone. This is why I explained to you. Can't see the infinity contrast level. Let's go back to our Starfield setup. Starfield screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Starfield screensaver. That's it. It's just so easy. It's so easy, but it's very hard for some people to understand, and they're just bent and determined to believe that they can see an infinity contrast level. You can't pick it up. A physical black screen is the only one can see it. If you look at a gray TV tube, an old gray RCA or Magnavox, or what you may have, Xena TV screen, gray screen from a TV, and you put it next to an OLED that has a black tube or a black LCD screen, which one do you think is going to pull the better contrast? The gray RCA TV or the OLED? Which one pulls the better black level? It would be the OLED. So where in the world would you even get the idea, talking to the gray, not to the customers, talking to people make these gray paints, that your screen could ever read an Infinity 1 contrast level and reads 100% black? Which means the entire time that the customer is watching anything involving any black levels, they're picking up gray. They're not picking up black. Let's go back here a minute, and let's go pull up Starfield screensaver.
Starfield screensaver.
All right, getting this right off my cell phone. Take the gray screen, stick it here. Take my cell phone, put it there. Now, if you look at the gray screen, it doesn't read a contrast level at all, period. Cell phone can pick it up, our screen can pick it up, our table can pick it up at 1,000:1 contrast, and the monitor picks it up with no problem whatsoever. So when someone sits there and tells you at the end of the day that, hey, look, I've got a gray screen paint over here, it reads a 100% contrast, they have lied to you. Because they can't pick up the Infinity 1 contrast level. It's virtually impossible. If they say that because our screens are brighter, we pick up a higher white level, that is also a lie. Because if you're talking about white levels, the higher the white level your screen picks up, then you basically just describe the white screen. And while everybody knows white screens are poor grade screens. This was the best improvement that you could do. I'm going to get that behind that. I'm going to leave it like this and put this over it. I'm going to put that the phone over top of it. So that's the best improvement you're going to get on a gray screen versus a white surface. If it's a white surface and someone tells you, hey, if you paint your screen with our gray screen paint product, you're going to pick up an insane contrast level. It's going to be ultra black. It's going to be Infinity 1. It's not going to be. That's my cell phone monitor with an OLED screen on it. That is my FLE Technology that we call OLED. We call it an OLED, OLED-like projection screen. And then you see the white surface. You see the difference between the contrast you're going to receive of our technology versus a white surface. And you see a difference between the white surface and our cell phone, which has it's an OLED. And then if you look at the gray screen doesn't give you much of an improvement. If you upgrade a white screen to a gray screen, that's all the improvement you're going to get. That's it. There's a wake-up call right there. I don't have to really go into a long demonstration on that one. It's pretty much cut and dry. And what you're going to get. Pretty much cut and dry. Okay, short and sweet. What do we get it for time? Yeah, pretty good for time. Just about as cut and dry as you can get. That's the only upgrade you're going to get on a contrast level on a gray screen versus our black technology. And this is why gray screens cannot see the Infinity 1 contrast levels. Neither can the white screen see it. And for those of you who have gray screen paint products, if you feel that I'm basically misstepped and your product will never react this way, your product can produce an Infinity 1 contrast level, well, here you go. This is what we used in our demonstration for our gray screen paint. You can put this against your product to show you that your product doesn't match this in any way whatsoever. But be warned, this product costs $4.97. If you match this, this is going to downgrade your product by a great deal. But, you know, if I tell you it's going to match, it's going to match. Because, again, we have done this to another YouTuber. We told him that the Network Gray 773 was going to match his product, and it did. We also told him that the Bear Silver Screen was also going to match his product, and it also did. I also suggested the bare silver screen a couple of times. We do the exact same thing, and it also matched. So, with that being said, if I tell you that this particular apple barrel paint would match your product, or come close to matching it, you need a difference between night and day in order to convince the customers. If you can't get that, that's going to be a problem. That's a $4.97 product. But as you can see here, you're not going to get the Infinity One contrast. You can't read it. It's not going to accept it. And it can't read color either. All right, well, that's basically about it. Hope you enjoyed. I got to go. Thank you all, and God bless.